Yo, what's up with the passport bros? What's going on? This is a disgrace. Can we talk about it? Okay. The aim of this video is not to make it very extended or to be extremely dramatic. I just need to address this very serious issue around the passport bros. For those of you who don't know who the passport bros are, they are a group of men based in the United States who have created a movement around bashing American women, African American women, black women. And this is a movement of black men, African American men, passport bros. So they bash African American women about not being womanly enough for them, not serving their needs enough, being too much like men. And so they cheer each other on to go to different countries and connect around supporting each other so they can go to other countries and pursue having sex with other women. And yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Quick disclaimer, I myself do not subscribe to using racial terms like black and white to describe people. However, I have not created the language to be able to discuss black people, African American people. I haven't created the right words, so I've just used the old normal language, but I do not believe that we should continue to use black people as a way to describe a group of people so much, other than the fact that we were all oppressed as black people. So, I mean, it is relevant in that way, but it is a paradigm that I no longer subscribe to, and I believe that that's part of the problem, is we need to let go of blackness, because it's a made-up thing that has not served us. It's not a movement around love, finding women that meet whatever standards you have, and then lifting those women up and having honorable relations to build something, right? No, these men are basically exporting sexual abuse. That's what's happening, okay? Let's be very clear. These men are broken men. These men are, and I'm not against men getting passports. I think men should get passports, absolutely. But if you're a criminal, if you're a sexual deviant, if you're a gangster, if you have no morals, then stay in America, please, because that's where you got it from, and that's where you need to stay, okay? Me, I actually have left America because I'm just disgusted with the culture overall, not just men. However, I'm especially disturbed with men because I don't feel safe in America. And that is because of the mentality of men around the fact that men don't see any value of protecting women anymore. Therefore, as I move around, I feel like I could be accosted, I could be raped, I could be shot. Anything can happen to me, and no one cares. No one feels like it's their responsibility to make women feel safe. So, yeah, and I was moving around feeling disgusted in America. And for those of you who don't know, I lived in Africa, in Ghana, for 10 years. So this brings another aspect to this. I have personal experience with these passport bros. Not in this particular organization, but with this phenomena. This existed before, the recent situation in 2020. There have been men, black men, who've been traveling for decades to other countries. I don't know, maybe centuries, who knows? But I'm saying my peers. I'm 50. So men have been traveling and participating in sex tourism as their main focus, like for years. It's been a normal thing. But what can we expect? What can we expect if you look at the culture in America, the videos, what you're setting up, right? It's a crucible. Is that the right word? It's like it is a breeding ground for trash, okay? For trashy behavior, trashy mentality, filth. And the only thing that America needs to do is to deal with that issue. Like, black men need to deal with themselves, need to heal themselves, you know? So I'm like, you go take care of that. Now, while I'm in another country, my focus is not men, even though, you know, I am open to finding a mate who's proper. If spirit provides that person for me, I'm not running around looking for that person. I'm living my life focused on my purpose and connecting to men and women authentically based off of shared values and building community. And yeah, living a clean life is my aim. But when I was in Ghana, I was there for 10 years and I was married. So I know it up close and personal because my ex actually is a sexual deviant. It's one of the many reasons why we're not together. But I know this up close and personal because I saw his movements. You know, of course, at that time, I didn't know how much he was a pervert, a crazy person. I thought, as a woman, you know, my aim, I was one of those African American women who wanted to be good wives and wanted to take care of the household, take care of my children, focus on nurturing, let my husband take like the male roles so I could be free to relax, and relax in the sense of focus on my womanly duties that don't require serious physical labor and those kinds of things. We had people who worked in our home also, which is normal in Africa. Because again, you can get women for cheap. I mean, outside of sex and everything. I mean, just someone to come live in your house. When I was there for 6 days out of the week, it was $50 to have someone to work in your house. Okay? So let that sink in. $50 for a month, 6 days a week to hire someone. That's like a legitimate job, okay? And at that time. So you have African American men who want to jump over the social requirements to have access to beautiful women. And they have no problems with cutting corners in the sense of just lying, flat out lying, pretending like they're interested in women seriously, just juggling a lot of people, being very messy, not being responsible sexually, not using condoms, messing around with children, and the way that a lot of them make deals with the families of school children. They'll pay for their schooling in order to have sex with them, and the families know and support it. Sometimes they just hook up with like young girls and buy them meals every now and again, and that is the exchange for prostitution. And I mean, a meal is like literally like $3, you know what I'm saying? I know of merchant marines who go over there and just unload on the young girls, okay? I know of men from Los Angeles, where I'm from. There was a man that I know who was a loser, a complete loser. I mean, he had some knowledge of mechanics and stuff like that, but socially, he had issues. And so he came to Ghana, ended up with 2 different women. One of them spoke, you know, the Ghanaian language. He didn't know the language. The other one, he had gone to like the Gambia or Guinea or something. I think it's Guinea. and met a woman who spoke French when he was working with the job, French in the native language. And he picked her up as a second wife, and she didn't know English, and he didn't know her language at all either. He just picked her up, brought her back, and then he's living with 2 women who are servicing him. And he's not a good provider. Like, he has issues with providing. He's not a very nice person. Like, he wasn't very, exceptional for a lot of women who want to be with him or anything like that. No. It's just about men living out their sick American blaxploitation fantasies. That's what's going on. Yeah. Everyone has sex. It's not about that. It's about honesty about your intentions. It's about not sex trafficking, not raping women, just being authentic and transparent. I also know of a situation where there was a man who was in the AAAG, which is the African American Association. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to go that low, but he was in the African American Association. At that time, he was new to Ghana. He was gay. And my ex was a real estate agent, so he had rented a house out to him. And when this man had a housewarming party, he had like 10 Ghanaian men dressed in servant outfits that were like tight, that looked inappropriate. And the guy was wearing like this open shirt. I mean, it looked very sexual. It looked like Hugh Hefner's place or something, right? Like they were all like servants in such a way that wasn't really appropriate for this day and age. Okay, so that was a question mark. That was like this is curious. Okay, months go by, and a Ghanaian man shows up to our house, and he's demanding money from us because he's saying that this man was raping them and he wanted to get paid off. And because my ex was the real estate agent for this guy, he came to him to make the threat to tell the guy. Now, I don't know if my ex was involved in all this rape. I don't know. I know the man came to my ex-husband to address it. Let's mind you, a lot has been uncovered about my ex since we've parted. So it's all a big question mark to me now because everything about him was fake. Okay, so anyway, this man had been raping those men. These are grown men. Like they're maybe in their upper teens, lower 20s, maybe to mid 20s, I would say. They wanted to get paid. And I don't know what ended up happening, honestly. I have children, and so, like, things happen, and, like, I'm a part of it on some level, and then I'm not a part of it as far as maybe seeing what happened in the end with that. But it told me something, I saw a lot of things that in that time I was in denial about how serious all of it was. I was a young woman with young children, and I could not allow myself at the time to see the level of filth. I could see it, but I couldn't see the level. I left America because I was afraid of the filth there, and then I got to Ghana, and it was just an unregulated sexual playground, whereas in America you have some laws, even if they're not really protective, ultimately, you have laws, and people care. They're looking at you. Your community is looking at you. But when you get out of your community and you become anonymous in another country, some of these people, they turn into complete monsters. And some of these people were complete monsters before they left. Trust. So let's just be very clear that this phenomena is about sexual abuse being exported, about us not dealing with the sickness that has been created over generations in African Americans from the rape and sexual abuse and constant oppression, exploitation. It's a real thing, and it has affected everyone mentally. Black men have been raped for generations by white men. We know this. And just like, you know, how much homosexuality is becoming, you know, to be understood better, or to be uncovered, let's not say understood. We understand that a lot of this sexual behavior has to do with raping, molestation from the churches, from our communities and the families, a lot of sickness, pedophilia, what do you call it, when you have sex with your family members, incest. These are normal things that are going on in American homes, and not just black homes, because it came from the treatment that the white people inflicted on black people who were not free anymore. So now it's just gotten to a point where there's no way to hide this filth. And we need a plan for healing. That's what we need. And no one person can do it. This is something that is a societal issue. It's an American issue, and it needs to be healed. So I pray for everyone involved. I feel, even for my ex, I have compassion because he's sick. You can't be angry with sick people. You have to understand that whatever they're inflicting has been done to them. If they're stuck in that place as predators, then they're stuck in that place. And how horrible is that? So let's have compassion. I'm not angry. Those are my brothers, like literally, and they're sick. And I am also looking for healing. I'm sick, not in the same way, but I'm healing. I'm healing from all of the pain that I have gotten used to being surrounded by just for being who I am. It is a weight that's put on the black community. So let's raise up higher standards. Let's change this. And, you know, also let's have some accountability. You know, let's hold people accountable. If anyone who's going around raping women or going around abusing women, we need to see some things to put this in balance. Culturally, let's just say it. We need to get rid of all this filthy music and all this stuff in entertainment that the government has been pushing through these entities that are completely controlled by the powers that be. It's intentional, and we should not allow the brainwashing that's taking place. While we're not looking, they're brainwashing our children, even on the computers too. So it's all of our responsibility. People can no longer just look at black Americans and be like, oh, look at them. Listen, your children are about to do the same thing, because now they're starting to get the same kind of media that we've always had about us. See what's happening to our children. See what's happening to the violence and, you know, just the despair in the world. So I'm saying all of this in love. I pray for our world. This is the new moon today. It's the new moon. That means that it's possible for us to create a new vision where we have care and compassion for these broken people. We need to give people a way to heal. We need to give them permission to heal. And I'd say it's great. It's great for them to get out of America, sure. No one can talk about black men wanting to get out of America. If you're not a black man in America, then you shouldn't talk about that. But don't leave until you do the work to heal, because you can't be carrying those sicknesses, those fatal illnesses with you. You're killing people, you're killing families, you're killing bloodlines. No one in other countries wants this to be attached to their family. No one wants to be abandoned by their father, which is what African American men are doing on a large scale in America and in the rest of the world. They're not being responsible. They're not building like men, okay? So we need to change this conversation. We need to talk about what are the requirements to even be called a man these days. I mean, if we're going to have the talk about sex, because I mean, like, people are like, oh, I'm a man or a woman based off of whether you want to wear makeup. No. Are you a man because you're protecting and providing? Okay, you can be a boy based off of the clothes you want to wear, but in order to be a man, you have to earn that. That a man is a more mature level, just like being a woman. Okay, so what does this mean? Rites of passage programs, right? So I think my next video is going to talk about if I ruled the world, how I would structure all of this to fix the problems. Because I believe it can be fixed. It's just a matter of leadership. We have technology that's out of this world. So almost anything that we want to do as human beings, we can do it. Right? We can set the robots to follow our lead, and we can start a new era. It behooves us. We have to start a new era. So anyway, what do you think about this Kaleidoscope plan? Do you have any experience with this dynamic? You know, even when I returned to America recently, I've dealt with 2 men, and not intimately or anything like that, but I've talked to solamente, and then it ended because I could see they weren't men, that travel, right? One man, he worked at the airline. I met him a year ago. One man, he worked at the airline, Delta, and he has a house in Jamaica that he built, right? But he has a family in Atlanta. He divorced a woman, and he has like a kept woman in Jamaica, right? He grabbed some claimed land or something. She just got some land, and he built like a little shack, you know, for probably a couple $100. And she has like 6 children by different men or whatever, and he has her set up, so I guess every time he comes, he has free sex. You know what I'm saying? Like a fake relationship that he doesn't have to honor, really. She's just there, right? So anyway, there are lots of crazy red flags as far as when he asked me out, and you know, the way he acted, because then I uncovered all of this. At first he didn't present like this, right? But I discovered all of this. You know, at first he tried, because he found out how I was well traveled, so he wanted to brag on his travels. But I could see he was doing that same stuff, right? Bros. I forwarded it to this bro. I was like, yo, you need to see this, because I was telling him, like, this idea of African American men talking about going around the world and picking up women because they're better, easier, blah, blah, blah. That's a no-go. And for all men who are trying to do that, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do a Sealy on you. Until you do right by us, nothing will go right for you. Nothing will go right. There is no overlooking the African American woman who has been there, who has been there through it all. Now, we have a lot of sick women. I will say that. And like I said, I'm healing myself, because when you're in a sick environment, you have to recognize that is a real thing. Like, I'm not here to say I'm higher. The point is that I am ascending, because like, I have chosen a new environment, I've chosen a new reality. But at the same time, as an elder, I feel that it's my responsibility to give my 2 cents, to speak to the young women so that you know this is a real thing, you know, to speak to the men to know this is a real thing, and that there's no way to get around it. We have to go through it. So I'm saying all of this in love because you deserve love. You deserve love. You deserve intimacy that's healing and having real connection to another human being, you know? But we have to recognize that we deserve love, because it is the individual actions that are preventing love from getting through. So I'm sending love out to all of you on this beautiful new moon, a new moon that is in Aquarius, which means that it is revolutionary, bringing about change. So I pray that this will bring about the change that it needs to. And I'm very interested in what you think about this topic. It's very important for all adults, not just Black people, not just men, not just women. It's really sexual tourism, and this problem did not come from Black people. Let's just understand that. It is now something, a sickness that has been picked up and that is being perpetuated, and it's up to us to put it to an end. So I am envisioning a healing washing over the world right now, a healing, or we can finally deal with all of this sexual depravity and perversion, and that we can deal with the pain that it's attached to, so that we can reconnect to God's love, which is where we all came from. Ashe. So thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, and click on that notification bell. Okay, the notification bell is so you will get every video that I post. It will come up, so you will be the first to know about it. And thank you so much for being here. I'm starting small. I know that at least in this moment, on January 21st, 2023, on this day, not that many people will see it today, but I pray that once I put it out, it will ripple out and be able to reach everyone that it needs to. So, may we all be healed. Ashe. Thank you, Kaleidoscope Clan. I really appreciate you. It's very meaningful to be able to directly speak to an audience, and I appreciate you being here with me. So thank you, and please give me your comments. Let me know what you think, if you have any experiences with the Passport Bros or with international travel. I'd be very interested in hearing it. Okay, take care. Peace.
Welcome to Ascension Life Design. Our original pieces are custom collages with embedded gemstones to keep you elevated. Visit our online shop to choose from a wide array of products, from stickers, bags, clothes, and home and office. There's something for everyone. So come and get your glow up today.